Hello, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Real Telugu Talks. And today we're doing another deep dive analysis of one of the most heartfelt and heart wrenching movies of all time, Jersey, starring Nani and directed by Gowtam Tinnanuri. And I just want to say, this movie makes me cry almost every time I've seen it. I know what's gonna happen, I know how it's gonna end, and yet there's always a tear or like a bit of sadness in me towards the ending. But easily one of my all-time favorite movies, with amazing acting, directing, and of course Anirudh with the crazy music as always. But yeah, that's why we are talking about Jersey today, especially after that Hit 3 teaser that just came out.
Oh yeah.
We have to talk about Nani, and I felt like what other way than to talk about Nani than with Jersey. So Pavan, go ahead. What's your take on Jersey, man?
Before we go into like Jersey specifically, right? I think it was Vivek Acharya that said this, but he said that Nani's movies, like since he dives into so many different genres, like each movie that he's done recently that has been a hit has like a different fan base, bro. Because it simply does, right? The amount of different genres that he's dove into, even like like obviously Jersey was what 2019. It was like right before COVID, so, but even like post COVID, you see like the different type of genres that he's like hitting. Jersey was definitely, in my opinion, like the start of that. At least on a scale of, the hit scale, like actually hitting and delivering like good movies that mass audiences love. Even though this movie didn't like technically collect well, I feel like if it came out at a time like now, bro, it would have definitely gone crazy. And the thing with good stories is, even if they don't collect well at the time in theaters, I promise you, if it's a good movie, it will always stay as a pillar in your filmography, and that's what Jersey is for Nani.
Exactly.
Definitely I always go back to BGMs, but the biggest thing with the emotional scenes was that was definitely for me the first time since Iga actually where the strongest BGM was given for Nani, so it matched. Because I think in terms of emotional scenes, for me on like a consistent basis, Nani is the best. Any emotional scene, any way to like capture the heart of the audience and make them tear up. Nobody has made me tear up more in movies than Nani. Whether that's Iga or Ninnukori, and Jersey was nothing new. Especially with the father-son dynamic throughout that whole movie. And the turning point for him to be like, okay, I'm going to become a cricketer, and and for us at the time we don't know it, but at the end we realize this was the definition of trying until you die, you know what I mean? Like go out trying. So the story was peak. I felt the biggest plus point for this movie, other than the BGMs, was how long they held the emotional scenes, right? If you don't give gap properly in terms of cuts, the emotion just goes out of the scene. And so for it to be like very natural and not to abruptly cut any part of the movie, they held the emotion, whether that be between Nani and the wife character, Shraddha Srinath's character, and Nani and the son character. It was definitely, I loved every aspect of this movie in terms of the emotional aspect of it.
Yeah, no, but again, emotion wise, it's like one of those stories of like, everyone loves to see a story of success.
A comeback story, especially.
A comeback story, and Jersey is the comeback story. It's one of the best written comeback stories in like Telugu film. And again, Nani taking that step, because technically speaking, that's a bit of a risk film, It's not a commercial movie.
Especially at that time, for sure.
At that time, when he knows films like Nenu Local, when he knows films like MCA, and are working, and are collecting well, taking that risk to do a sports drama that doesn't have the commercial elements like fights, dialogues, duets, and stuff like that, is a big risk. And the fact that I think it was Nagavamsi who produced it, him plus Gowtam Tinnanuri who did it, getting Nani's backing for that movie, and then him giving his all, because of obviously he went through cricket training, cricket practice to get that technique down to actually
Right.
show it on.
Right.
So huge props to Nani for selecting that film, because now, because he has that, it's like for almost all Nani fans, it's like, hey, we have Jersey, man. Like, it's
I'm
a
telling
proud
you, I
film
think
to have.
like Nani's like fan base as a whole has to be so proud of the films that
Yeah.
he's coming out with, because
Hmm.
again, for me, like I'm not big on collections or anything, because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, when you go back and look at these actors' filmographies, you're like,
Mhm.
was that a great story? Was that a
Mhm.
movie that I can go back and watch again and be like, wow, that was a terrific
Yeah.
film? And Jersey is easily one of those. And
Mhm.
again, like I wish we had more sports dramas in Indian
Yeah.
film industry in general, and
Mhm.
Jersey is like the pillar of that for me, especially because it is a Telugu movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the another plus point with Nani movies in general is that it's so relatable, right?
Mhm.
If like the characters he does over and over again are like very relatable to the common audience, and so
Mhm.
that also added to the fact that the story itself was relatable, but
Yeah.
it only is that relatable if Nani does it.
Yeah.
Nobody else can be that relatable in that story and share
Mhm.
the same type of struggle,
Mhm.
other than Nani, bro. He was
Yeah.
perfect for that kind of story, and it only
Mhm.
made sense that he did it.
Yeah, and again, every scene in which he was there, like the performance he's given, like especially in the entire first half, that helplessness he has,
Yes.
like saying, the only thing my son's ever asked me is for a jersey, and I can't get him that.
Yeah.
And that whole journey we see him going through, that helplessness he's feeling, we feel that. We feel sorry for him.
Right.
And I think in some movie, Shraddha Srinath was promoting another movie. Someone asked her saying, "500 నానికి ఇచ్చేస్తుంటే ఆయన ఇంకా బతికేవారు కదా." And it's like, see, it's been like 6 years since the movie came out, and people are
Yes.
still like,
Yes.
this is an amazing movie. It's heart low on the cinema.
He's had this many great movies since then.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole run of great
Yeah.
movies, and yet Jersey is still a movie that
Jersey's
fans
still
are still
there.
going back to.
Yeah. I remember my cousin, she lives in India, right? She watches Nani movies. But she switches like her favorite heroes, like depending on her mood and
Okay,
whatnot.
valid.
But when she saw Jersey in theater, she calls me the next day, and she's like, "My shirt was drenched in tears, and Nani is now my all-time favorite hero. No questions asked,
Right.
and there will be no changes in that." And
Oh,
she's still
okay.
stuck to that today.
Okay. Perfect timing, bro.
I know.
But like, there's like so many specific scenes in that movie too. Like
Mhm.
the one that I can think of is the poster when he opens up the cabinet.
Oh, and the Sachin poster is gone,
Yes,
and it's
that
his
that
newspaper.
scene
Yeah.
makes me cry every time, bro.
And it's like, and then he says, నేను క్రికెట్ ఆడటం నీకు ఇష్టమా అంటే హీస్ లైక్,
Yeah.
నువ్వు ఆడినానా క్రికెట్ ఆడితే హీరోలా ఉంటావు.
Yes.
మా క్లాస్లో ఎవరి నాన్న ఫోటో ఇప్పటి వరకు పేపర్లో రాలేదు తెలుసా. నాకు ఈ ఫోటో ఉంది కదా, అందుకే సచిన్ పోస్టర్ రాజుకి ఇచ్చేసా. నాన్న నువ్వు మళ్ళీ క్రికెట్ ఆడవా?
నువ్వు చెప్పు, ఆడినా వద్దా?
ఆడు నాన్న, నువ్వు ఆడితే చాలా బాగుంటుంది, హీరోలా అనిపిస్తావు.
Yes.
And then they show Nani saying like, I'm a hero to my son. Like, what more could I ask for?
Yes.
It's so, again, it keep going back to every scene in that movie just takes my heart out and squeezes it like that, man.
Oh my, like ఒక సీన్ ఉండిద్ది, అప్పుడు జెర్సీ అడిగినప్పుడు కొడతాడు అనమాట పిల్లాడిని.
Mm.
తర్వాత మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ వెళ్ళి సారీ చెప్తాడు, నేను
Mm.
కొట్టాల్సింది కాదు అని. అంటే అసలు ఫీల్ అవడు, ఆ పిల్లాడు అస్సలు ఫీల్
Yeah,
అవడు.
yeah.
And so,
And it's like దాని తర్వాత
and then you
మళ్ళీ-
see, and then you just cut to Nani again, and then I'm like, oh my, I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry.
And then ఆ కంటిన్యూషన్ కూడా ఇట్స్ లైక్ సేయింగ్, అమ్మ నీకు దెబ్బలా తగిలిందంటే ఎందుకు
Yes,
నిజం
yes.
చెప్పలేదంటే, నువ్వు నన్ను కొడతావంటే ఎవరు నమ్మరు నానా అని
Yes.
పిల్లోడు అంటాడు.
Yes.
ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా నాని కళ్ళలో నీళ్లు తిరుగుతాడు. And then Anirudh BGM.
Yes.
Anirudh's
Yes.
sentimental BGM. I was like,
Yes.
dude, come on, man. How much more? How much
Yes.
more?
అమ్మ నీకు దెబ్బ ఎలా తగిలిందని అడిగినప్పుడు నేను కొట్టానని ఎందుకు చెప్పలేదు?
అబద్ధం చెప్పానని అనుకుంటుంది నాన్న. నువ్వు నన్ను కొట్టావంటే ఎవరు నమ్మరు నాన్న.
సరే, నువ్వు ఇంటికి వెళ్ళు.
త్వరగా వచ్చే నాన్న.
Yes.
Every time I see it, I get the goosebumps, like the shiver, you know, because that's just how good the performance was throughout the entire movie.
Right.
And
And,
it's
you know, like that
amazing.
movie attacks like a couple of emotional elements like so strong, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because if the sadness scenes weren't so strong in that first
Mhm.
half of the movie, you know, at the very end we all wouldn't be, you know, cheering and happy that, you know, he made the comeback.
Mhm.
And you know was batting like a madman.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then the
There's
ending
just-
too. Like
ending,
usually
yeah.
they say that you shouldn't end a movie with a death,
Mhm.
but that movie felt okay to actually end it with a
Mhm.
death, because they had that whole scene at the end where they gave the jersey and everything,
Mhm.
and then it shows that jersey symbolism is still there at the end.
Mhm.
So yeah.
It's like saying what? I think it's like after 20 years, my dad still kept his promise. And
Right.
my jersey had shared. And it's like,
Right.
like, come on. It's the whole story. People will think it's like, akkad manaku ardham avutadi end ki. The whole story, it's not about Nani trying to give a comeback or Arjun trying to give a comeback to cricket and try to make it to the team. The only reason he's doing this is so he can get his son that jersey, and he's done that. And అందుకనే జెర్సీ అనే పేరు కూడా పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా సెట్ అవుద్ది సినిమాకి.
Yes. Yes.
That's the goal. That is
ఆ
his
jersey
goal.
అనే పేరుకి న్యాయం చేస్తారు అంతే.
Yeah, he doesn't want. It's not his dream right now. వెళ్ళి ఇండియన్ క్రికెట్ టీమ్ ఆడాలి, నేను సెంచరీలు కొట్టాలి, అది కొట్టాలి, ఇది కొట్టాలి. That's not what he wants. He wants to just get his son that jersey, and he wants to be a hero to his son. And our completeness, that circle, we get that at the end.
And scenes గురించి మాట్లాడితే we have to cover this, and I know everybody knows what we're going to talk about because everybody's seen it, but the train scene.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I can't believe we forgot about it, but like I actually did watch the Jersey remake in Hindi.
Okay, I didn't watch it. I could
and-
not bring myself to watch
And
it.
look, it was similar to Arjun Reddy and Kabir Singh, where
Mhm.
like I felt that Kabir Singh was a good movie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the acting was on point. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like obviously a remake will never be as good as an original,
Mhm.
in most cases.
Mhm.
But even in Jersey, like that train scene was actually done phenomenally if you looked at that movie for the first time in Hindi.
Mhm.
But I couldn't get the Nani train scene out of my head.
Yeah.
And so when
I
I
just
watched
couldn't.
it, I just couldn't. I
just couldn't bring myself to watch that movie after
Fair enough.
watching Nani.
I mean,
Like
completely fair.
sometimes I'll watch like a remake movie in like a different language just to see
Right.
like, you know, what the differences are. But Jersey was one of those movies I was like, I can't watch it. Nani
No,
is
and-
Nani. I can't mess with that.
I will say, like, with a movie like that, right?
Mhm.
If the story is that good, bro, it has to be told to multiple audiences. You know what I mean?
That's true,
And
yeah.
the best way for a story to be told is obviously you can go and watch it in the dub and whatever, but
Mhm.
a remake, if done correctly,
Mhm.
that a story like that has to be shared. And I felt the remake did that. But yeah,
Yeah.
again, like as a Telugu viewer,
Mhm.
as a part of the Telugu audience, I just couldn't get the Nani scene out of my
Yeah.
head, bro. It was
But-
incredible.
But I want to take a second to talk about that train scene, because that train scene is the build up of throughout the entire, like, I don't know what it comes. I think the first half of the entire movie, we see him kept getting knocked down,
Yes.
knocked down, knocked
Yes.
down,
Yes.
failing over and over and over again, fighting with his wife in front of a full house. And when he finally decides to step up, we see his problems in the cricket academy. Like, people were like messing with him, they're pranking him, not understanding what he has and what he needs. That is the first win we see in that movie.
Yes.
That is the first win we see in Arjun's journey, the character's journey. And when he goes to that train scene, we're like, first చూసినప్పుడు he gets on the bike and he's just driving, and he's like, oh, he's going to Satyaraj's house, or oh, he's going
Right.
back to his home.
Right.
We don't know what he's doing. But then when he gets to the train station, we're like, what is he doing at a train station? And then నెమ్మదిగా, the entire time, Anirudh is slowly building up the BGM,
Right.
step
Right.
by step. The second the train comes and he starts yelling, and then we have Nani's amazing action, Anirudh's crazy BGM, and they literally just keep the camera there and don't even shift focus off of Nani, because he
Right.
is giving his 100 in that scene.
Right.
And ఇప్పటికి ఎన్నిసార్లు చూసినా we get goosebumps, we
every
feel
time.
happy
Every
time. We look at it and we're sitting here saying like, yes, we're enjoying it with him, that moment with him. And that train scene is just perfect, and it just encompasses all of our feelings. We also get a chance to burst out like Arjun, saying like,
Right.
hell yes, this man
Yes.
has done it.
Yes. And again, like, this is what I mean though. Like, if you cut that scene even like a
Mhm.
little bit and don't prolong it the way they did,
Mhm.
right? Because result చూస్తాడు, తర్వాత
Yeah.
బైక్ ఎక్కుతాడు, and then immediate గా కట్ చేయొచ్చు అంతే. రైల్ రోడ్కి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత, రైల్వే స్టేషన్కి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత అని కట్ చేయొచ్చు. బట్ ఆ స్లో రైజ్
keep it
అనేది,
there,
yes,
exactly.
ఎందుకంటే మోటార్ సైకిల్ ఎక్కి నాని మీదే ఉండిద్ది మొత్తం ఫేస్.
Mhm.
మళ్ళీ
Mhm.
అది మళ్ళీ స్కోప్ అవుట్ ఏమి ఉండదు, మొత్తం
Yep.
Nani face మీద ఉండిద్ది. And so you can see
Yeah.
his emotion build up,
Mhm.
and he has that, he's like holding back everything until you get
Yeah.
to that train scene, and then it's full blast.
Yeah,
Anirudh,
exactly.
the
Mhm.
Anirudh, Nani, the combination, and so
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Crazy. Like, I'm genuinely, that again, just talking about it, I'm feeling goosebumps. I'm feeling
Yes.
like excited about it. That's the impact that scene has had, and it will continue to have for a while.
And the thing with that movie too is like the characters are actually very few.
Mhm.
If you think about it, in terms of like the main characters in that movie,
Mhm.
there actually aren't a lot, but every single person that did their role
Mhm.
was a strong point in that movie.
Mhm.
And so yeah, all the side characters were good too, but this was purely Nani and Anirudh. It just the
Yeah.
pure carry of the film, and they
Mhm.
just did full duty on the story. That's the easiest way to put it.
Mhm. And I'm happy that they got Anirudh, a music director like Anirudh, for this, because he properly gave his 100% for it.
Yes.
Because every scene, let's be honest, you can cut the music out of the scene and you'll still have that emotion because of Nani's acting.
Right.
But you added the music, added onto it, and it just took it to a whole nother level.
Oh, it takes it to a completely different level. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So mad respect to Anirudh for doing that, and even a lot of the songs, and it's still going crazy on my playlist. Like
I
Adeptagani,
was just about to say that. Yes.
The Spirit of Jersey. Like Spirit of Jersey is like one of those songs. It's like you have an exam.
is still in my playlist, bro.
Oh yeah,
it's so good, so good.
And then Spirit of Jersey is one of those songs. It's like you have an exam in 2 days and you need to lock in. You put on Spirit of Jersey. And it's like yes, and you're studying like crazy. That's the impact those songs have had, and it's just always there.
So good, it's so good.
We do have to talk about like the other performances though, because I feel like other than Nani, you had the kid. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah.
But his performance was really good. Like usually when you have child actors, they're not the best actors.
Right.
Very rarely do you see a child actor having that big of an impact. But like he actually did really good. And even Shraddha Srinath, she had a minimal role, but the role she had was perfect.
And if you look at like the movies that she's done, right? Like she is never the type. And I'm not trying to like stereotype or anything, but a lot of the heroines like sometimes don't look perfectly for their roles. You know what I mean? They're like, I just want to act with the big actor. But her like pattern between her movies is her role itself is always very strong, or it's like in a very story oriented film. And so Jersey was a perfect example of that. Like her role was perfectly needed for that story, because in the first half, it was very necessary, because most of the times like it was just her being disappointed in Nani's character, so it was definitely perfect.
And then again, we don't have to talk about Satyaraj especially, because we all know how good of an actor he is.
Right.
But even the role he had throughout the film, acting as a mentor to Arjun throughout the movie, it just worked. And the dynamic between those two.
He's actually the strongest belief in the movie.
Exactly. So, there's a whole line saying, "Nuvu ivala select avana avakapoina na career lo choosina best cricketer nuve." That includes current Indian cricket team.
ఒక విషయం గుర్తుపెట్టుకో, సాయంత్రం ఏం జరిగినా ఐఎమ్ ఆల్వేస్ ప్రౌడ్ ఆఫ్ యూ. నా కెరియర్లో నేను చూసిన బెస్ట్ క్రికెటర్వి నువ్వే. దట్ ఇంక్లూడ్స్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఇండియన్ క్రికెట్ టీమ్.
So we see his belief and we're like, okay, because Satyaraj, a character like Satyaraj who's seen so much, who's experienced so much, is believing in this guy so much, even we have the need to believe him. Not just because he's the hero of the movie, but also because we have characters around the protagonist rooting for his success. So again, that's just story and character writing that worked perfectly well together.
For sure. There's nothing more I can add. It's just it's such a technically sound movie. And again, I will say it again, if this movie came out, you know, like now, when the audience demand is for more technically sound films, bro, the scope would be even larger somehow. And I fully believe that.
And like again, I feel like Jersey was one of those stepping stones in Nani's career to get him to the stage he is in. Because we'll talk about Nani, his whole filmography in a separate episode, but I did want to say that when you look at his filmography from like Bale Bale Magar Devoy to like pre-COVID or like to COVID, most of those films are like high commercial value films. In that, he has like a Jersey or like a Ninnukori, which is different. And that added to the fact that saying, hey, Nani is not just a commercial hero. He's not just a boy next door type character. He can do that extra. He can take the risks. And then of course after COVID, it's just been risk on risk on risk.
Yes.
Films like Shyam Singh
again, Jersey was another one. He did it with a debut director.
It wasn't his debut. It was his second movie.
It was second? Okay. But like again, like we're talking about young directors, you know what I mean? And Nani has never, it seems like at least these past, 5-6 years, it's like he doesn't really care for working with established actors always. He's just like, I fully believe in the story, and he was definitely ahead of the curve with that, in terms of I'm going to focus completely on the story and I'm going to do full justice in terms of what I can do for the story, and I'll just fully believe in it.
Not just as an actor, but even as a producer, he basically started Sailesh Kolonu, I don't know his last name, but the director of Hit, the
Yeah.
Hit movies.
Yeah.
He produced Hit 1, Hit 2, and now he's doing Hit 3 with them, building that universe. And so looking at all that, it's like the amount of backing this man has for new talent, and the trust he has in not the person but in the script, you know. And that's just amazing for me, especially
And
considering the fact that at a certain point he was a very established actor and he didn't need to do that. He doesn't need to do that. But he understood the fact that I also struggled. Now that I'm here, let me find the best
yes.
that are struggling and help them. Let me introduce these people.
Yes.
So again, that's just Nani in general.
Yeah.
Um,
And
But yeah.
I mean, again, we'll talk about this when we do a Nani filmography episode. But you know, Nani himself has said this, where he's just stacking and stacking and stacking good stories, good films, and we're going to see that now too. Because I am definitely one of those people where I will sometimes fall victim to putting him in a certain basket. Where you know, before Jersey, I was like, okay, he does the love movies very well. He knows how to nail the emotion of a love story really well, or he can do a commercial movie really well. And then he decided to do Jersey, and then he decided to do an action film in Dasara. Then he decided to do Saripoda, and then he went back to an excellent love story in Hainana again. And then now, bro, Hit 3, Paradise. I mean, he's gonna
Proper
take it to a
action
different
films,
level,
yeah.
bro. He is stacking and stacking every new genre, every good story. It's all going to pile up, and Nani will make a statement, bro. This year, I promise you, he will make a statement.
Again, I want to say I'm not the biggest fan of like the tier system we have like
Yes,
for tier 1,
yes.
tier 2 movies, but I want to say Nani is. I don't think he's tier 2 anymore. He cannot be a tier. He's
can't be.
definitely up
And
there.
definitely not
with the
after what
other-
he's about to do this year. bro.
Exactly. He's up there. Like almost every one of his movies is coming out with immense hype. It's coming out with immense promotions, and it's collecting immense
Yes.
collections.
Yes.
So like he is not there. He is one of the biggest stars that the Telugu film industry has right now.
Like, look, we have so many stars, right? And look, I'm not one to complain about, you know, nepotism or anything like that, but obviously it is prevalent in Telugu industry. But all the heroes, for the most part, have done their full duty to live up to that. You know what I mean? And I've always, you know, like I've always felt good about that. It's like if you've done good justice to, you know, being brought up in a film industry family, like hats off to you. You know what I mean? You look at, you know, Tarak, Mahesh, Prabhas, Allu Arjun, like all these guys have done full justice to their families by living up to their name, you know what I mean? And for Nani to come in as a self-established star, and, you know, since Ravi Teja, since a Chiranjeevi, you know, like be that guy to be a self-established star and be listed among those guys, especially I think after this year he will be mentioned more with those guys. It's incredible, bro. It's incredible. Full kudos to him.
I mean, especially not even this year, even last year during the award season for the movies, Dasara and Hai Nana were clean sweeping most of the awards.
Yes.
And he did those movies both with debut directors.
Yes.
Like
It's
considering
unheard
that,
of. It's unheard
exactly.
of.
The run he had during the award season, it'd be like almost every single thing. It'd be like best actor would either go for him, either for Dasara or Hai Nana, and then like best actress would go like Kirti Suresh or Mrunal Thakur, and then the best director would go for Shrikant or the other. I forgot who the director of Hai Nana was, but him. And then the best movie would either be Hai Nana or Dasara. That's just the run he had.
the child actor in Hai Nana, I think, also got an award.
Oh
if
yeah,
I'm not
even she
mistaken.
won an award.
Yes, she won an award
she did
too.
win an award.
And so, yeah, it's incredible. It's one of a kind, bro.
Again, I'm just extremely excited for Nani's upcoming filmography because he's doing Hit 3, he's doing another movie with Shrikant Odala, and then he's doing a movie with Sujit.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So like his upcoming filmography is just stacked, and it's really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I want to say that starting point to build Nani up to that star position was definitely Jersey. Like one of those movies, like you could see, like it's like it was Pela Jamindar, and then it was Bale Bale Magari Boy, and then it was Jersey. After Jersey, he started.
Yes.
He's like, okay, let's
Yes.
move on. Let's
Yes.
get higher.
Yeah.
And again, I'm extremely happy that Telugu industry has a film like Jersey to say this is our movie.
I'm happy that there is, I hope Nani is setting an example, like truly.
Mhm.
And I hope he is the example moving forward for not just, like other stars, but, Indian cinema in general. That,
Mhm.
let's focus on the story. Let's do full justice to a story as
Yeah.
from what we can do. And
Yeah.
the results will come, bro. And
Yeah.
Nani's a perfect example of that. I'm so proud that
Mhm.
Nani is in TFI. And if there's
Mhm.
one actor that I can always point to and be like, he'll make TFI proud, it will be Nani, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's the
He's-
kind of
he's
script
not
selection
even-
he has.
Before Nani used to be a minimum guarantee hero, but it's not even that. He's not minimum guarantee. He is a guarantee.
Yes.
He will deliver the hit. He will
Yes.
deliver the
Yes.
next big movie. There's like memes where it's like whenever TFI is feeling down, Prabhas and Nani will come with a new movie and bring
Yes.
it to new heights. So it's
Yes.
like, yes, that is very true.
Yes.
But yeah. But before we end off, let's get back to Jersey. Let's finish this episode off with Jersey. What is your favorite scene in Jersey?
I think it's a tie between two, right? I don't think I can
Mhm.
pick one just because
Mhm.
it's that. Obviously, I'm putting the train scene aside because I think everybody can say the train
Yeah.
scene, but it's definitely the Sachin poster scene where
Mhm.
he opens up the cabinet and
Mhm.
they talk about the poster, him and the kid, and then the other scene is where Shraddha Srinath's character actually catches him taking money.
Oh, yeah.
ఏంటి నా కోసం చూస్తున్నా? ఇవి కూడా తీసుకుని వెళ్ళి అమ్మేసుకో. ఓ, నీ ఇంట్లో నీ భార్య దగ్గర దొంగతనం చేస్తున్నావా? హ? నువ్వు ఇంతకు మించి దిగజారమన్న ప్రతిసారి యు ప్రూవ్ మీ రాంగ్.
And she's like so disappointed in him.
Mhm.
And that's definitely one of the strong points in that first half where you're like, dang, like he is
Yeah.
at an all-time low, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, those two.
Mhm. For me though, one of my favorite scenes comes right after your favorite scene. It's the scene in which he goes to the cricket ground. It's the interval, and he goes up to Satyaraj and says, "I can't live like this anymore. I want to play for the Indian cricket team."
Yeah.
And then he steps into the ground, and then we have Anirudh's BGM playing in the background, and we've felt the lowest of the lows to that moment, and then right at the interval it goes just a little bit up, preparing us for what's coming next. And that's just an amazing scene where again you have directing, acting, and music all come together
Yes.
and create an amazing interval bang.
ఏం చేయమన్నా చేస్తాను సార్, కానీ మళ్ళీ తలదించుకోలేదు. పదేళ్ల క్రితం ఆగిపోయిన నా జీవితాన్ని మళ్ళీ మొదలు పెడతా. ఎలాగైనా ఇండియన్ క్రికెట్ టీంలో ఆడతా.
And it's just amazing.
Such a phenomenal film, bro.
Yeah, amazing.
If there one of the films that if you just have to say what is Nani, you just point
Jersey.
to that film, bro.
Yeah.
You just point to that film.
You want to understand what Nani is, what he can do? Watch Jersey.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to end this episode on. Let us know what other movies we should do a deep dive on. If we missed anything about Jersey, because there's a lot to talk about, let us know down in the comments below as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.